show where we examine modern marriage from every angle, including our own relationship. I'm Allison Raskin. I'm a New York Times bestselling author, relationship coach, and mental health advocate, and I roped my husband into doing this show with me.
And I'm John Blakesley, author of the Substack, Wrong Man for the Job. I'm also a policy researcher, and right now I am living in utter chaos. True or false, Allison?
True.
We are getting some closets redone in our home to prepare for our beautiful baby boy, and all of our clothes are everywhere in the home.
Yeah.
They are on racks. They are on, they are in bins. It is complete chaos. And you're struggling.
I'm struggling?
You're having problems.
You're struggling more than I'm struggling, honey.
I don't know if that's true.
I was struggling leading up to it. I was very anxious about how it was going to work. I almost didn't want to do it because it felt too overwhelming. But I started methodically planning out how to handle this weeks ago.
Yeah. And I was like, whatever, man.
And now that it's happening, you're freaking out.
Well, I don't really know where any of my clothes are.
Because you had no system.
And I keep only finding clothes that don't really fit me anymore. And like I put on pants twice now where the elastic is like long since gone. And I put on a weird shirt last night.
Boy shirt.
It was like, I was like, oh, this is cool pajamas. And I just look kind of like a little
You look
boy.
like you were just going to have strictly business casual dreams.
I look like a boy going to my first communion. Like I was like dressed up before sleep. But I think Sugar is really thriving.
Really?
Because, well, chaos is a ladder to her. She's really gotten.
This is like very emblematic that like I had the anticipation anxiety. But now, like, that it's actually disruptive, you can see that this is not fun. You thought it would be no big deal.
Yeah.
But you're freaking out.
I don't like it.
Yeah. You're, like, more thrown by it than I am in a shocking twist.
But I think my way of doing it has been better. Because, hear me out.
No.
I'm only suffering for 3 days. You suffered for, like, weeks. Weeks you were freaking out about this. I'm in it now, but I'm only in this for 3 days, baby.
We'll see if it's only 3 days.
Oh, you think I'll have, like, post-traumatic stress disorder?
I think they won't finish in time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Well, we have a scandalous episode for you today. We're going to be interviewing my other life partner, Gabe Dunn, about my dating history as well as our relationship. Because in a lot of ways, Gabe was my first marriage.
Your first marriage? Unclear if you guys ever stopped being married.
Yeah.
You're still working together all the time, right? I mean,
I definitely learned a lot in my partnership with Gabe. And you'll see that I didn't always act the best.
Yeah.
But now I'm perfect.
Gabe was kind of your starter marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for not correcting me on me being perfect.
Yeah.
But before all of that, we have to do everyone's favorite segment, Marriage Moment TM. Da da dee.
Yeah, it was okay.
5 out of 10.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know.
Well, can't all be winners. So this is the part of the show where we share an illuminating or fun story, or dare I say moment, about our marriage. And my choice for today involves our other dog, Phantom, who was a dog that we originally just agreed to foster for a few days. And then he was sick, and so they couldn't give him to the family he was promised to because they had a senior dog. And we kept him for weeks and weeks, and the whole time I'm kept being like, he's not our dog, he's our foster, like he belongs to this other family. And you, John, you fought that.
Yes.
You were like, Phantom is our dog.
Right.
There's no scenario where we're giving this dog back.
Yes. 100%. It was crazy that you thought that we were giving him back.
Well, because I had fostered before, and that's what you do.
No, but he was constantly with you. The two of you were obsessed with each other. We took him to Santa Barbara on like a romantic weekend getaway, and he just became part of the family. It was totally ridiculous that he was going anywhere.
But I wouldn't have had the chutzpah or whatever to push the rescue.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, like, you kept being like, tell them that we want to keep him. And I kept being like, they said that we can't. They said that we can't. And you were like, just email them again.
Yeah.
And then I finally emailed again with your encouragement. And they were like, yeah, okay. He could be yours.
These people had never even met Phantom.
Yeah, I know, but, like, I think all the time, like, if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have my closest friend and most trusted confidant.
Yeah, I know.
So you really came through for me there.
I did.
In your, in sort of your entitlement.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That was an example of when your white male privilege really paid off.
We were nursing this dog back to health. He was obsessed with us. You were obsessed with him. Like, these people had never even met him.
Yeah, but I was like, that's the rules of the rescue.
There's other dogs. Like they can find another dog. Like, the thing is, Phantom couldn't meet their older dog because he was sick. And then I feel like the minute we adopted him, Phantom was like, yeah, I feel fine.
And then went on to have chronic nerve pain
then
that has cost us thousands and thousands of dollars. So I used to feel really guilty that I took him, right?
Yeah.
Because it prevented me from fostering other dogs and things. And he's like such a high quality dog, like in demand dog. But now his extensive medical issues, I'm like, okay, I guess it's good we took him because like we're barely able to cover the expenses of it.
And also that you're home all day since you work from home, and like Phantom likes that for sure.
Yeah,
and,
we're a good fit for him.
Absolutely. And also your relationship with Sugar has improved because now you're not like resentful of her for not giving you the emotional needs that you require in a dog.
All right. Well, we can talk about that another time. What's your moment?
All right. So here's my moment. And it just happened this morning, but it's emblematic of something that happens all the time, which is that whenever we get a package in the mail and there is the slightest bit of like, there's a little cut in the packaging or it's a little open on one side, Allison gets really nervous and she looks at me and she goes, someone tampered with my package. I'm like, what? She's like, there was tampering. There was tampering. She'll like yell this in the home. And I'm like, what, like, you think like someone put like anthrax in your package? Like, you think someone deliberately tampered the packages?
I think that the package did not go from the original source of the factory to my home. I think that somebody got in there and contaminated it with their germs and who knows what else.
For what purpose?
I don't know. Maybe to be a rapscallion? Or just because they used it, it's pre-used, even though they're pretending that it's new, that maybe they have malicious intent. I don't know, honey.
Rapscallion? I've never heard you use that word before. Who are you? Like a Jane Austen novel.
I feel like it's important to say that we record the interview of this show before we record the opening.
Yeah.
So when you hear me in this show say emblematic later on,
yeah,
I'm the first one to use that term today, and then you just took it. So I'm just saying, because it's gonna sound like I parroted you and that I stole your term, but really I used emblematic first and then you just used it.
You're trying to give yourself more credit here, but I think it's backfiring on you.
Thank you, Travis. Okay. Well,
because it sounded really nice and fancy when you said it.
I see. And so
And
now you're worried that people would have thought that you were being nice and fancy, but now they're going to think that you're
that I was just
copying me.
That I was copying you, yeah.
Allison, I bring up the marriage moment about tampering in part to tell you have problems. And I think Gabe can give us some insight into that.
Welcome back to Pop the Question. This is the part of the show where we dive deep into the main topic of the episode with our incredible guest. This week, we are joined by writer, director, and co-host of my other podcast, Gabe Dunn. Woo!
Wow, welcome, Gabe.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to finally sit down and get to know John.
Gabe and I have a little rivalry because for Allison's affections, I would say, because it didn't start when we met, for me at least. But when I looked at my wedding photos online and in the Instagrams, there's like pictures of me and Allison, pictures of Allison in her dress. Then there's a picture of you and Allison together. And just all the comments on that thread of photos are Allison with her real husband.
Yep.
This is the real marriage I came for. Like, guys, this is my wedding day. And all people care about is Gabe and Allison on the wedding day, and you got a picture with Allison in her wedding dress. That must have been a sweet, sweet moment for you.
Yeah, and I think the likes were higher, so pretty sick for me. Yeah, but I've come to realize how similar you and I are.
Oh, yeah?
Which is like, the video of you with the dresser and emptying the dresser.
So for context, we are selling a bunch of our furniture, and like I didn't
Do
empty
anything to prepare.
I didn't I didn't empty my dresser until the guy
He was
came
at the
to
house.
pick up the
Okay,
dresser.
I literally, so what?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's disrespectful of this man's time.
First of all, he showed up 5 minutes early.
Yeah,
And then all he had to do was wait like 3 minutes.
yeah,
And I threw all the stuff into the bag that was there.
right.
And it was fine.
Yeah, who cares?
She's stressing out about this for weeks ahead of time.
No, it doesn't matter. There's no guarantee he'll show up,
Right.
so why empty it? Listen,
Gabe
gonna
gets
have a
me.
heart attack.
Gabe gets me.
what
Gabe-
time you get to the airport?
Yeah, oh my God. I love nothing more than getting to the airport, like walking through into the plane,
Yes,
like as
no
they're
wait.
closing the
Yes,
doors.
yes. Life hack.
That is like
No
okay,
wait. Walking straight from TSA into the plane.
It's unbelievable.
It's the best
There's
feeling.
like an economist somewhere that said like once, like basically if you have never missed a flight in your life, you're going too early to the airport.
Too high of a
Ooh.
risk. Do you know how expensive and horrible it is to miss a flight?
Well, no, not most of the time. You can change.
Yeah, you just hop on the next one.
But, I'm gonna throw up.
Allison, if she could, Allison would sleep at LAX the night before.
I
If she
agree.
didn't hate the airport so much, she
I
would
agree.
sleep there.
Look, there's something to sort of setting up the expectations in your life that people have for you as such that it's not a big deal whatever happens.
Like
That-
if you just miss it.
Yeah, miss the flight I don't like missing the flight because I don't like I don't like missing the flight, I guess for monetary reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's incredibly stressful and expensive to miss a flight.
well, yeah. But
Sometimes they
I'm
just
trying
put
to
you on the
think-
next one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like a lot of times they'll just put you on the next one.
What about your luggage?
I know that's what's annoying.
Well, it'll get there ahead of you, and then it'll be there for you, waiting for you.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
but-
I just saw an incredible hack. This guy was saying that he packs 3 carry-ons and no checked luggage. And then he, at the gate, they say, oh, you can't take all of these. So he sends 2 of them as like a gate check. And then they're at the front of the airplane, like how they gate check stuff.
Wow.
And so he just like pays when it's there and then they gate check it. And then he has it right away. Isn't that incredible? I'm sorry I told people this.
Yeah,
I should have kept it to myself.
We gotta cut this. We gotta
Yeah.
cut this.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, we wanted to have you on the show, one, because you're a good time.
Thanks.
And two, to just, you're someone that knew me for like a decade before I met John,
Mhm.
pretty much, or
Mhm.
not quite a decade, and saw my dating progression. And I'm curious, like, at what point did you think, oh, she's actually going to successfully marry this one?
John?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because
When
I
you
never,
knew-
I never thought that about the other
Yeah, when did you know that I was the one?
one.
We don't
That's
use that term on
interesting.
the show.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but like, you know.
Well, okay. Let's see. So where do we start? A lot of chaos, a lot of Allison chasing these guys who were just like kind of carbon copies of each other, sort of mediocre.
And what is the carbon copy? Like, what is the?
like dark hair, dark beard, like
You know what?
middle.
That is. Can I just jump in here?
Yeah.
That is wild to me now. That she was like with all these guys with beards, and I go 2 days without shaving, and she won't even let me get anywhere near her.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that she didn't stand up for herself. She didn't. You. The guys with beards. You were like, I'll do
No,
whatever you want
No,
to
the
do.
difference is that stubble is much more coarse than a beard.
So if I grew a beard, you'd be into it?
Oh, honey, we've seen what your beard sort of looks like.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, okay, actually I haven't ever seen you with a full beard. You just tell the story all the time that the one time you grew a full beard, you looked horrible.
One
and
time
it was
I
so
grew a
embarrassing for
full
you.
beard
Well, you
because
are
a girl
blonde.
wanted me to grow
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
And it was a dark beard,
Oh.
which is weird. I know.
Huh.
But it didn't grow in around the mustache.
Listen, you're speaking my language right now.
And so instead I kind of just looked like an Amish boy, as it just kind of came out, but not like an Amish boy that actually grows a full beard.
Sure. Yeah.
Just kind of like a
Right, so you're not really selling this for me.
I look good in black though, so maybe I would be like a hot Amish
Well.
guy.
So that's the thing, is it's not about how it looks. It's about like the coarseness of, if you then want to give me a kiss, it hurts when it's a stubble.
What if John dyed his hair black and then grew a beard and then dyed the beard black, and so it was kind of like a whole different look?
Ooh.
Ooh, with blue eyes. Oh.
Well, I like the way that John looks.
I'm just
naturally.
saying. Then the beard would look. It would match.
Okay, so she was with a bunch of
Yeah,
bearded
yeah.
guys.
And
But
they
see,
were.
that's the thing, is I feel like you conflate how similar they all look to each other as if they all had the same
No.
personalities. And they didn't.
No, I'm about to go into it. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Then there was the first Dan, and he had a Porsche. And he was a lawyer,
Yeah.
and so you met him on the internet, and you thought that he was a catch.
Yeah, he was a lawyer with a Porsche, and I was
Yeah.
like 24.
Right, sure, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm set for life.
Yeah,
Turns out those low cars, very uncomfortable.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say again, she doesn't like when I try to get low cars.
no.
Because I had that experience, and
Yeah.
it was awful.
Then BuzzFeed branded guy who we all love.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Um,
great.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great.
I know him.
However, he frustrated the shit out of me because he was so hot and cold with you.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
was,
He
he
was
was a
so on
horrible
and off.
boyfriend.
And he didn't you could not pay him to care. Like, he was just like so, but then he would somehow show up and would care, but then it would just be like confusing.
Right.
And I was like, I don't understand what. And you were like, taking risks left and right and compromising left and right. And he was just like, "Mwah."
I remember we broke up and we were writing one of our books together.
Mhm.
And I started crying because I missed him because he was so cool.
Yeah, he was
Do you
cool.
remember that?
Yeah.
And I was just like very upset because he was so cool.
Yeah, yeah, he was cool.
To this day, he
He's
remains
still
cool.
really cool. We should
cool
have him on the
guy.
show.
Yeah, we should.
Right? Everyone likes him, and he loves that everyone likes him. That's the thing. Yeah, cool guy.
So you never had a moment where you were like, I get to just like date a lot of guys and have super like fun all the time. Like you just were
No.
like looking for the end.
Yeah, that
No.
wasn't fun for me.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't fun.
And I couldn't, and like right before I met my ex-fiance, I was getting better at that. Like it was like, it didn't feel like, if it didn't lead to marriage, that I would like, it would have been a huge waste or a huge, it didn't, I felt more secure in myself. So it wasn't like, there wasn't the same level of desperation, but the goal for dating was always to find a husband.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's not that was not your experience at all.
No, it's not my experience. And I find it interesting too that it certainly wasn't Gabe's experience. Like
No.
your guys' whole shtick, like where you got famous and blew up, was like you were an odd couple.
Yeah.
And like I actually would love for you guys to talk about that a little bit because, your relationship, even though it's not a marriage on paper,
Sure.
being so intimately linked creatively, you've written 2 books together, you have all this podcast together,
Yeah.
Gabe and Allison. I mean, that has been a
Allison
thing
and
for.
Gabe.
It's basically like a marriage, and I've been in creative partnerships like that
Yeah.
before, and I know that there's like good times, there's bad times. Like, let's start at the beginning. Like, what was that? What was it like?
Horrible.
Horrible. Well, what did you say one time? Hard to pin down. So I was kind of all over the place. As you heard in the beginning, I'm very much like, it'll work out or it won't. But
I was also possessive of you. Like,
Yes.
and so I like it was like I needed to be the best friend. I needed to be the priority.
mhm.
And so I would feel like very threatened by other people and other things. And there was like the same kind of dynamics that came out in my romantic relationship.
Yeah, there were tests that I was failing all the time.
And like again, like the other, like something that helped the health of our relationship was me being like, he doesn't need to tell me everything. I
Right.
don't
Ugh.
need to know everything about his life. Like
Yeah.
we don't need to be this close.
Yeah, that was one of the. Yeah, that was wanting your approval started really like making me nuts. Because I would just take everything so like if you codependently, like if you were upset at all, even if it wasn't at me, I was like in a spiral of like, how am I gonna fix this? And then I would just like only want to fix it. And then I would just get like so I don't know. I was like scared. I was like scared of your moods.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Because-
I was scared of my own moods.
Yeah, because I would be like, this is whatever her mood is my mood.
And then I was scared of your recklessness,
Yeah.
where like it was like if something I mean, also not properly medicated. Like if something happened, it was
Oh
like
no.
my financial health was tied to him. And
Yeah.
so if he had like a manic episode or like
Mhm.
had like some sort of reaction, like that could ruin both of our careers.
Right.
Yeah.
Or our relationships or our, like
Yeah.
it felt like I had sort of like put so much of my like financial and creative like weight in this person that was like pretty unstable, and
Yeah.
that felt
Mm.
scary.
And then I was thinking about this because I was thinking about BuzzFeed because of the something coming up that we might go to. I don't know. But I was thinking about it because I was like, my most unstable and reckless traits were rewarded by BuzzFeed.
Mm.
That's what people liked.
Mm.
That's what people wanted to see. That was the reward. And so there was no there was no incentive for me to be together.
Right.
Because that's not my thing. And you can only be two things. You know what I mean? Like you can be like gay and a mess and that's it. So it was like, and I think whenever you're placed in opposition to someone else, right? Like Allison has it together, but I don't.
Mm.
Both people can have it together and not have it together. Like, I don't know. I think you get put into this box
Yeah.
and like, I don't know, imagine if your early 20s was just like on the internet for millions of people. Like, sometimes I watch like reality shows and I'm like, they shouldn't let us do this.
Yeah, you sort of become defined by your partnership.
Yeah.
And because you two are also in those sketches playing exaggerated versions of yourself.
And I think we both got sick of that.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and the other thing too that is interesting is that like you're also pretending to be roommates and best friends. And I'm
Mhm.
sure like you guys were best friends at various points, but
Mhm.
I know that your relationship has had all kinds of ups and downs,
Mhm.
but you're projecting. I remember reading a comment on one of your videos come up all the time. And so sometimes I watch them and I'll see the comments and people will be like, I forgot that Allison and Gabe don't actually live together.
Oh, that was a scandal.
You know?
People in our lives thought we lived
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people are seeing this and seeing and actually think they're seeing you.
Oh, yeah.
But instead they're seeing a caricature or a dramatization of the two of you.
Yes.
And that's such an interesting. I mean, we have that a little bit on on this show.
Yeah.
But not nowhere to the degree that I think you two went through.
I mean, even if on this show you guys are being yourselves, but it's also even every time you're on mic or on camera, you're doing a thing a little bit.
Mhm.
And so yeah, we were playing. And if you're we were playing versions of ourselves. And if you're a sitcom character, you don't have a lot of depth. Like you can, but mostly you're slotted into the storylines based on, Gabe is a lunatic, and Allison's a lunatic in a different way.
Right.
And so it was, yeah, I felt stifled. I think Allison felt resentful.
Is that true, Allison?
Yeah, I felt resentful because I took on a lot of the work in the JBU universe,
Mhm.
and then Gabe was able to have time to do these other projects, and so it sort of just looked like Gabe was doing way more when like I was kind of carrying the main ship, and that was tough.
Yeah.
But also things that, like, looking back, I would never care about now. Like, oh, both our names are on this script, but I wrote it. Who cares?
I
We have a
know.
script.
I know.
Like, all this stuff.
All of our fights were so stupid.
We're so stupid. And it's like, oh, I'm upset because, like, they think that this was, like, completely even work when, like, I did more. Whatever. We're developing with FX. Like, shut up.
I
Like, do you
know.
know? And I think that, like, I think that our relationship and like realizing all the mistakes I made in our relationship also kind of like helped set me up for a life partnership,
I
right?
agree.
Where it's like, yeah, like your wins are my wins. My
Yeah.
wins are your wins. Like what it is to actually be a team.
Yeah. Well, I wanted that for us, but I didn't know how to convey it. And I think that's what would make me cry the most when we would have issues, because I was like, I don't know. I just was like, she hates me. Or something, like she hates my existence, or like just this feeling of wanting to be like, we're in this together. But then like feeling like you had a really high standard for stuff, and so I wanted to try to meet it, but then I would never meet it, and then I would disappoint you, and then you would write the thing instead, and then I would be like, she hates me.
Wow.
Like, or just like, no, like I used to be like, when we would work together and stuff, sometimes I'd be like, why is it the person that like I work with the most and I love the most who seems to find me the most untalented?
I mean, I'm sorry. I think I was, I think there was just like a lot going on, and also like there were things that like made it hard to work with you too,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we would shoot sketches and you would be on your phone, and we would
Yeah.
like tell you to get off your phone because we're like in the middle of shooting a sketch, and then you
Mhm.
would like get mad at us for telling you to get off your phone.
I also I did not really enjoy acting. I never.
You were good at it.
Yeah, thank you. Even looking back at some of the sketches, I can see myself uncomfortable. Like I can see that I'm like acting. I can see the movements of acting. And I'm like, wasn't good at it. And then I also would start to be defiant when shooting the sketches because I thought I wasn't being good. And I thought you were disappointed in my performance. So I would just become like defiant and oppositional and be like, whatever, I don't even care about this.
Right. So like there were some dynamics that made
Yeah.
it difficult to work with you, and then that then bled into like my other shit of like having to take on more. Like
Yeah.
it all like makes sense, right? Like
No,
you
it's a
step back and you're like,
horrible-
oh, I see like how this dynamic happened.
But it's also like why I really had to come to realizing that like you can't fire me, I quit is not like a persona to have. You know what I mean? Like every single thing in my life, someone would like start to have a criticism and I'd be like, I quit. You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah,
Or like
really
just-
reactive.
Yeah, or like, hey, I think you should. Okay, well, fuck me then. I guess I'll go jump off a cliff. It's like nobody said that. Like,
Yeah. I was going to ask you how much of you think it was Allison was actually disappointed in you, or how much of, now that you have some time and distance,
yeah.
how much of it was maybe some stuff that was going around in your head or something from earlier in your life?
Yeah, like rejection sensitivity. And so perceiving and codependence. Like I do it in romantic relationships too. The idea that like if someone had, like I used to, now I've learned, possibly again from my relationship with Allison, where if someone brings you a criticism, they're not secretly saying, I hate your guts and I hope you die.
Right.
They just like have a thought.
Right. Right.
So you just sort of have to hear what they're saying and not sort of what you what your family of origin may have put in your mind.
Yeah, I get that. And I also think probably being in a partnership with Allison, not that I know anything about that.
Yeah.
Allison does have exacting standards. And also
Yes.
Allison is also very blunt.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
come on, honey.
Yes.
You're so blunt with people, especially around work stuff.
Mhm.
Like it's
I'm better than I was.
One time,
I mean, there's a lot of exclamation points, but like she says what's on her mind, and
this is a long time ago, but I wrote a script. She didn't like it. I sent it to another friend of ours, and the friend said, "Oh yeah, this is good. I don't know why Allison didn't like it." I said to Allison, "Well, this person said that she liked it," and Allison went, "Yeah, but who's going to tell you the truth?" Yes.
I'm sorry.
yeah, she's so...
We're closer. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was like, fuck.
Hey, it was a very successful channel. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that
sure.
is what's crazy too, because like the moment I saw the two of you talking, even I forget if it was in person or if it was something I saw online, but I was like, wow, I get it. They have so much chemistry.
Yeah.
Like the two of you had so much chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think you told me a story once that like you first met Allison at a like improv show.
Open mic,
or
stand up open
mics,
mic.
and like you went to go hit on her or
Yeah.
something. And
No,
so
I talked
You
to
approached
you
me.
first.
No, though I didn't hit on her. What happened is she came up and approached me because she was, I guess, looking for friends.
Always.
And I was like a brunette with glasses. And so we started talking. And then the next, I don't think I had a car. So the next open mic, she's like, "I'll pick you up and drive you." And then we went and got sushi.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we went to the mic. And then she drove me home. And we sat in the parking lot of my apartment in Hollywood and just talked in the car for like 45 minutes. And then when I got out of the car, I went into where my roommates were in the living room. And I was like, "Guys, I'm in love. That's it. I found her." And then she was just like, "What a cool friend."
In my defense, you were in a monogamous relationship with a man at the time.
Who was never going to move to Los
But I
Angeles
didn't know
for
that.
me. Yeah.
But I do think there's something that like makes perfect sense to me about this. Like I like love it as a story that there's like this like at the very beginning there's like kind of a romantic spark between the two of you. Like yours in more of an overt way. Yours in a way of like you love nothing more than like friendship and like finding friends and
This is how unhinged I am. The first photo of us I ever put on Instagram, which is my photo for us on my phone, it's me and her in like a little, picture like Instagram filtery looking thing, and I made the caption "girlfriend."
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
We were not like, I was just like pushing to see what she would do.
Right. And and so it's like it's like this like love story between the two of you, I feel like, through the years. Like I know that I'm the one pushing this, but like your husband, but it is I feel like it's true. It's like your opposites attract. Like there's a misunderstanding at the very beginning that's like
the romantic comedy.
It like blows up and you guys become these partners, but then like there's all these like bumps in the road.
Sure.
Like you guys really do have such a I think it's probably why it's lasted so long is that there's just like this spark between that certain people have, and the two of you who are so different have it. And I also think it's interesting that like if you work with someone creatively, like I've done as well, you usually start working with someone creatively because you have that spark in some way. Like you really light up around this person, you really like vibe or connect with them. But then like if it becomes really successful and you have to actually start like doing business stuff.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Suddenly, it's like a totally different side of people's personalities, and money comes on the table. That is like people have all different kinds of triggers, and suddenly it's like you started off and you were just like playing on the swing set together, and now suddenly like you're adults and like you have to have like S corps and like
and
lawyers
I didn't want
and
any of that. I didn't even realize coming to LA to like work in entertainment. It didn't even occur to me that it was business in any way. I know it was like show business, but I was like, I was always a writer. And so I don't know. And I never had any money ever in my life. Like I would get $50 together in New York and I'd be like, woohoo. But like so the idea of like, you need to create a corporation. I was like, to what? Like a corporation. I have like $75,000 in student loans. A corporation for what? And so when I came to LA, I just didn't think that at all. And I remember one of the things that would like, that really upset me, that was not Allison's fault, but like I remember one thing that like I cried over one time was how like I was like we could just be friends, but instead it's this. Like, you know, like we could have just been like fun and cool and friends, and instead we have to do this.
So there was like something kind of tragic about your success.
Well,
At least
it,
on that
it
level.
exacerbated our issues. I mean, if we
Right.
had been friends, we wouldn't have been fighting.
None of this
Right.
would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
and I mean
wouldn't
that's
have fought.
like there's an element of that with marriage too, right? Like
Right.
you know, you're not when you're just like dating somebody, you're just dating somebody, but when you're like dealing with like life stuff, where it's
Right.
like, okay, we have to pay the bills, we have to figure out like how we're gonna support each other, we
Mhm.
have to like plan for the future, like it involves like all of this stuff that like you wouldn't necessarily have to talk about if
Right.
you were just friends. And like it's like, oh, why is there conflict? It's like there's conflict because there's shit that has to get done that's like
Right.
stressful and confusing. And you know, that's why I think with wedding planning, a lot of people like their conflict will come out maybe for the first time, like around something like that, because it's like the first time, like seeing how does someone navigate
Right.
something like this.
Yeah. And now it's like money and fame and travel and hotels and just like
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, and like your mental illness, my mental illness. I also want to say that we are different, but I think there is a lot of similarity that
Mhm.
maybe people are not, maybe they don't see. I don't know. There's a lot of, I feel like there is like a similar sense of humor and like a similar,
The
Definitely.
similar
Like-
sense of humor is what got us through the last
Absolutely.
Yeah,
10
for
plus
sure.
years.
and like I remember like you had this persona and stuff as being this type of person, but I remember one of the first times we hung out, you wanted to go to a strip club and we were gonna go, and then you were like, it was jumbo, so they don't fully show everything, and you were upset that you were not gonna see full tit.
What?
Yeah.
Who is this person?
No,
Yeah.
I love burlesque.
Yeah.
You know I love burlesque. I love a show.
Yeah, she wanted to go see the
you
show.
wanted full tit?
She was like, I don't know if you were putting on a thing,
like,
but you
yeah,
were
I was
like
probably goofing
doing
a
this
bit.
like really elongated bit about how there was no nip and like why are you paying not to see nip and stuff. And that was like what like maybe our like first month of being friends, and I was like, yeah, this girl's like, she's not this like stuck up person that she pretends to
It
be.
was something that surprised me about her too.
Yeah.
When I got to know her more.
Yeah.
Was that you really lean in on so many videos and publicly that you're kind of uptight, and then you kind of get to know you behind the scenes, and that's
You're freaky.
not really true. Yeah.
You're and you will extend the bit. If the bit is
Oh my
like
God.
freaky or disgusting, it doesn't matter. It's getting extended.
Yeah, because John, you shared that like you were afraid that like I was someone that was like gonna like really police your language or like
Yeah.
be like a little like not make certain jokes. And then you were like, oh, that's not true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it was, yes. I thought maybe that, that
That
she was
is,
just like,
prim and proper.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And
she dressed like an Orthodox teenager when we were friends. When we first started being friends, and then something weird, she would like be like all of a sudden these little like weird little monster creature things. Oh my god, the amount of like voices and characters,
yeah,
John, that
Oh,
she
I know.
would do. Like there was like whenever I was upset, she would do this lobster claw character that was like, I don't even know what it was. It was like someone with lobster claws for hands, and they would be like, "Are you okay, Gabby?" And then there was like another one where she was like, I don't know what
Who was like, was there a big perv, little perv?
yeah,
What was that?
oh yeah.
What was that character?
Oh yeah. Okay, so this was like, I don't know. He was like a guy who was really stiff, and he would be like, he would say everything was big time, full time.
Oh yeah, big time,
And so-
full time perv.
And we'd be like, big time, full time perv. And then he'd be like, when are you a perv? All day, every day. Like just like it was like so everything would be big time, full time. And then there was like another guy. Oh, Sexy Baby.
Yes,
And then
sexy baby is lying. Baby.
is Lying Baby, and Lying Baby, his parents are astronauts.
Yeah.
These were like
They're on the moon.
ongoing characters. There was two characters, Sexy Baby and Lying Baby, and then it became clear that Lying Baby was also Sexy Baby in the universe.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that Lying Baby's parents were astronauts who were in space, and that's why we'd never met them.
Right.
But Lying Baby's a liar.
Yeah, total
Absolutely.
liar. Total
So
liar.
it was the character that you were an actual baby.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but I could talk.
Yeah.
Is this? Are we talking right now to Sexy Baby or Lying Baby?
I don't know.
Lying Baby was real committed to this my parents are astronauts thing, because I was always kind of trying to be like, where are your mom and dad? And there was like so many like weird little like just weird little character things.
And again, this is like the type of stuff that people have in their relationships.
I
Like, you know what I
guess
mean?
so, yeah.
Like, I feel like you guys had a level of an intimate relationship that was like, yeah, it's just put it all in the rom-com, put it all in the movie.
I guess.
But then like we're each like navigating like actual romantic
Right.
relationships.
Did you guys ever
Yeah.
go after the same guy, or was there ever
Never.
any
Never.
like?
People that I dated had been interested in Allison at one point, and then one guy that I dated was like using me to get to you at one point for like a day,
Wow.
and then and then liked me. So pretty cool. But no, I think that was. I don't think there was not really overlap. I mean, one of your exes, when you started dating him, I thought you guys were not a match, and I was like, this is weird because this feels like a Gabe guy.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like an
But
Allison
he was
guy.
so funny to me.
Yeah.
He was really funny. And
Yeah.
that can really just screw you up.
When I
Mhm.
met him, you didn't know, like, he would say, like, oh, my favorite movie is blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, Allison, do you even know what that is? This man is a freak. This man is a fucked up person. And you were like, I don't know, whatever. And I'd be like, this is such a Gabe dude. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, comedy is Allison's drug.
Sure.
Allison
sure.
will go do
'Cause-
kind of crazy stuff for
comedy.
for a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's yeah. I was just thinking. I was trying to go through other exes, but I don't know.
But then when I met you
Yeah,
in person,
Yeah.
like Allison had told me like, oh yeah, like Gabe and I've had this like kind of rocky relationship.
Sure.
And I think you had recently just kind of not been really talking
we had
to
a
each
huge
other.
falling out in 2019.
Right.
yeah.
So then when my broken engagement happened in 2020, we were not very close at all.
Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of like what I was coming in to, like getting to know you.
Mm.
But then like that's why I think I was so struck when I first saw you guys like hanging out and seeing how like much chemistry you had together
yeah.
and like seeing your like the humor, and then like I feel like my time around the two of you, it was all on the up for the most
Yeah,
part.
because we just start. I mean, truly, I wish that we had this. I've come to the same conclusions as Allison, which is like, who cares? None of it mattered. It was so stupid. It was like so much ego and like so much like fear and scarcity and weird and like also everything around us. I think encouraged that.
Yes.
So
I mean, think about even just how social media works, right?
exactly
Your partners,
numbers.
Your partners, and one of you has 50,000 more followers.
Yeah.
Like that,
Right.
like, and you're 25.
What I used to say is that when Allison would be like, "You have more followers than me," I'd be like, "You have to account for hate follows." It's
But
that
like that-
50,000 more people
You think there's like
don't
a percentage
like me.
the hate tax?
Yeah.
But this, I think, is also like so like symbolic of like what can happen in romantic relationships too, where it's not necessarily about what's happening, it's about how you feel about yourself.
Of course.
So because
Right.
I was more insecure, the fact that he had more followers was like devastating to me.
Right.
It
Yeah.
would like keep me up at night.
And imagine like you're kind of behind the scenes doing more work and your partner is just like
Way more famous.
way more famous for sleeping with Disney Channel stars and doing insane shit all the time.
So like I'm pulling 80% of the work, and then Gabe is like way more famous,
Right.
and so that like created this like really difficult. And I'm having to wrangle Gabe to even do the 20% so
Right.
that the videos come out on time.
Right.
Right.
And so I'm unmedicated, and I'm like
Wiping everything down with
and I'm like,
Clorox.
right,
and,
like
yeah.
like right. So
Yeah.
but like then as you get to a place where you're like more secure in yourself,
Mhm.
like you're able to be like, yeah, like it would be cool if we had the same amount of followers, but like that's not like so directly tied to my worth or my safety in this partnership.
Right.
And we were working at a place and I think even when we left BuzzFeed, I would say the people around us in entertainment bolstered that, encouraged that. It was a competition always. Which
Really?
like, yeah.
Like, oh, it's like we want you two together and we're going to define the two of you by your partnership, but also we're going to enjoy pitting you against each
Well,
other.
who do you like, the wild blonde or the uptight brunette?
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's like Betty and Veronica.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's like this sense that we're like vying for this one thing when really like we were a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Well, youth is wasted on the young, as it
Truly.
were.
So were my outfits. I had some cute outfits back
Very
then.
cute outfits. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, you know, and so I think it's probably been interesting for you because you've seen us become friends again.
Yeah.
I've seen you guys become friends again, and it's interesting because there's such like a depth of your friendship that
Thanks.
that is very apparent. Like, for example, when Ruth was dying,
Mm-hmm.
you were just there.
Of course.
You just like showed up
yeah.
in a way that was so beautiful. Like you were texting me at night and like
I think about it all the time.
yeah.
I don't want to like bother you or whatever. And I know you said it was fine if I do, but I'm thinking about it like once a day at least.
Yeah. And I mean, Allison is the type of person who wants her friends to like be bothering her about it, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like a wonderful thing. And I guess I'm bringing that up because like, you know, like Allison has other friends too who like maybe didn't do that as much,
Yeah.
but like, you know, they love going out together. Maybe they even hang out more socially
Sure.
than the two of you do. But it was almost like you're like a member of the family,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even when the broken engagement happened and Allison told me that they had broken up, we weren't super close, but I was like, I'll take over the channel. I'll do everything. Like, don't worry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I just did all that stuff because I was like, we weren't close enough for me to feel comfortable, like emotionally being there. And Lord knows it is very hard for me to emotionally be there. A lot of times I don't really like it. But more of a pat on the head kind of person. But like, yeah, of course. So even
Yeah.
then I was like, no, that's like just kind of what we do. And so, I mean, Ruth had been part of my life the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. Listen, I don't know. My parents are going to watch this more so than my parents. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we have a lot in common there.
Yeah. So, you know, there were periods where I wasn't close to my family really at all.
Right.
But like Ruth and Ken are around.
Yeah.
And like even way in the beginning of us being friends, your parents like offered to take care of me in certain ways.
Mhm.
Way in the beginning. And so, yeah, it just was like kind of a consistent. I didn't realize how many videos like they'd been in when
Yeah.
I was like editing that thing together, and I didn't even get all of them. And I was like, wow, they've been like a
This
consistent
is the
part
video
of
you
this.
made for Ruth's funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not for his funeral,
Oh.
but
For the-
for the channel.
for the
Of-
channel.
Oh, for the channel honoring
best,
Ruth.
the
Yeah.
best of Ruth Raskin.
Yes, and
Right.
I feel I was like so upset because I think I missed a couple too. So now I got to do a part 2 or whatever. But
It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I mean, we all watched it and
Oh,
I
it was
watched
such a
it,
wonderful thing.
like while she was like bedbound, like nonverbal, and I was like on the bed next to her medical bed, and the nurse who'd been taking care of her like the last few days of her life was like, wow, like I'm so glad I got to see this because
Yeah.
she never got to meet my mom really.
Right.
She just saw my mom when she was sort of trapped in her own body,
right.
and she was like, oh wow, like what a amazing person.
Yeah, and funny. Great
So funny.
timing. I love
So
the video where she takes the brand deal for her dog.
Oh, fake brand deal for River. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good sport for someone who didn't want to be on camera.
She was a great sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that was really like just so unexpected and weird and like, yeah. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, but like pretty much like something that you like wake up from a weird nightmare and you go, that was weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then you have to like keep living in the nightmare.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I think that all the time. I was cleaning out my Instagram followers because I've decided to try to erase my digital identity in some ways, which I know this is the most extreme case of trying to do that anyone has ever attempted. But anyway, so I was like going through my followers and it was like first few people that you followed, like earliest follows or whatever. And like going through and like Ruth Raskin photo.
Yeah.
And I like
Yeah.
looked at it and I was like, no, I'll keep it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I-
kept her on my favorites list on
Of
my
course.
phone.
I unfollow everyone but Ruth Raskin photo.
Yeah.
Try interpreting that. Good luck, DHS.
Well, in a lot of ways, Gabe and it was a trial run. And it
I really do think
Yeah.
so.
It made me a better partner.
And let me say this: for my relationships, a lot of the people I dated had a weird jealousy of Allison, where they did not like that Allison had my ear as well, like because they wanted to sort of control. So some of them had a really weird relationship to how much influence they felt Allison had over me.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Because imagine you're dating someone and you know that the best friend, the person that's with them all the time, could just be like, I don't like them, and would tell that to your partner
Yeah.
to their, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She
Like-
would not hold back.
Right, like you're.
I
It's
don't
not
like you.
It's not like right,
What?
right. It's like
I don't say that to people's face.
Maybe not anymore,
not
but
to the person, but to the person
Yeah.
they're dating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She
Oh, look,
had,
you're both still here.
wait, you've heard this before,
we were
right?
out to dinner one
Yeah.
time with someone, and Allison would just went, I have no idea what you just said.
It's so fucking okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay, she'll
I
like
have no idea what you just said to me.
yes, she'll like argue with me about she doesn't understand what I'm saying, but then sometimes she doesn't let me finish explaining it.
Mhm.
She'll just be like, "No, it doesn't make sense," and I'll be like, "Give me a second." I'm going somewhere. My brain is just slower than yours.
Allison gets to the point.
Yeah. They'll be like, we'll interview someone who like talks maybe a little slowly, and I'll be like, well, that was interesting. And then like we'll get off the call and Allison will be like, that was brutal.
It's not because they're speaking slowly. It's because they're not saying anything of substance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll really try. It's very well, one of the funniest things, I've told you this, but obviously not on this podcast, that when I was having issues with one of my exes, and I kept complaining about them and like having all these problems, and Allison and Melissa like thought they were being subtle by like whispering behind my back about like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I know they're talking about the situation.
Well,
I
we were
just said.
genuinely worried
Yes.
about you.
Yeah.
And so then I said something that they had done, and Allison went, I guess my question is, what would be the last straw?
She does have a way of, I mean,
And then later, after we split up and we were chatting and stuff, Allison was like, I really held my tongue. And I was like, no, you didn't.
That's me holding my tongue.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she cuts to the heart of the matter. That's
Right.
for
That's
sure.
why I'm a coach and not
Yeah.
a therapist.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's I want to talk forever, but we're not allowed to. So now I ask the final question that we ask all of our wonderful guests, which is, who is a fictional couple that you think should have been divorced and why?
Okay, I'm gonna start controversy. And I'm here to tear apart the LGBTQ community. Cam and Mitch from Modern Family.
Wow.
Whoa.
Tell us more.
I think sometimes they say, oh, they're sassy together, but it's just bickering.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't watch the whole show, but I feel like Mitchell just like didn't approve of Cam in so
Yeah.
many ways, and that felt icky.
Why are you embarrassed of your partner? And
Yeah.
also, like, why it's the same trope that straight people do, which is the fun and happy partner, and then the uptight partner who's like always upset about everything.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know that they should get divorced, but I didn't really ever enjoy Mitchell poo-pooing Cam's beauty and light.
Yeah.
And I think because I was trying to think of couples where it was like that uptight versus I don't know what the word is. I think we were shown a lot of characters in that kind of situation. And then now when I see a couple on TV where, yes, there's conflict, but they're on each other's side,
Right.
I'm like, oh, like I see that more and more now. And I'm like, right, that's different than I think. Look, Modern Family started, I was a senior in college.
Mhm.
So I remember we watched the pilot in my comedy class to talk about what was good about it. One of the best pilots.
One of the best
An
pilots.
Really great
incredible
we, also,
pilot.
we also studied the pilot in my
Really?
comedy class.
Yeah, incredible pilot. Yeah, but I just was like, look, this stereotype of these two gay guys who I don't know, they didn't seem to enjoy each other's company.
Right.
It strikes me
Sorry,
as funny that-
sorry.
Okay, I guess I'm not super familiar with the show, but you guys always enjoyed each other's company. But it does strike me as funny that very much part of your dynamic was the uptight one and the free-loving, freewheeling one.
Yeah, I do think maybe Cam and I have a lot of sort of drama in common. But I don't know. I mean, they're both phenomenal actors, gotta say. But and things I've seen after the show, love. Both great actors.
But for the purpose of this, we're just assuming these couples are real couples.
Right, sure.
Right.
And
I don't know. Look, I don't think. Yeah, I think it would be maybe the show stays on for 10 more seasons. They get divorced.
Well, I think there's a fundamental issue when you find your partner's true personality to be embarrassing.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, embarrassing for sure.
Like
Not just
that's-
annoying, but embarrassing to show to other
Right.
people.
Yeah, that's like a core issue that we would want to avoid.
Yeah. Like I think like Gloria and the old guy have a great relationship.
Yeah.
But and that maybe maybe the show was about how age gap couples are good and gay couples are bad.
that's what the Modern Family is.
And that's
They
the
understood
Modern
about
Family.
the rise of the right. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and making the trek to a different couch.
I know, this is so fancy. Why is our show bullshit? This is crazy. You can see my legs.
Where can people find and follow you and listen to your other podcast?
But Gabe is trying to erase his digital identity.
No,
Oh, right.
no. Only some of it. And this is just kind of my thing du jour.
Yeah.
Where
It'll
I
be
go
gone in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After I've deleted everything, and then I'll be like, why did I do that? Okay, so I'm Gabe Dunn on Instagram. Mostly go there for a lot of my like anti-ice ranting. And then, but also fun stuff sometimes. And then I'm a Substack, 1000naturalshocks.substack.com. And the Bad with Money podcast has relaunched as a little series called 1000 Natural Shocks, a Bad with Money podcast. And you can find that anywhere podcasts are sold.
What about your other podcast?
If you're watching this, you don't know. It's just between us, baby. It's me and Allison. John's not there, so
And you can try to figure out which interviews I say afterwards. That was boring.
you don't say no. You never say boring. You say brutal. You always go.
Yeah,
That was
it's-
brutal.
Who do you think will be in my life longer, Gabe or you?
We'll see. I mean, Gabe has more time put in, so I mean, I guess you have to imagine that he's the front runner.
Yeah, one day he was getting really upset at the idea that that I spent more time with you, and I was like, I live with him. Like if we just did collected hours. I mean, we've lived together 3.5 years. There's no way that I've spent more time with Gabe than you.
Right.
But he was very upset at the idea of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to our final segment, my soon-to-be patented game show, Stay or Leave, where I present you with a hypothetical situation of something I might do in the future in our marriage, and you decide if you would stay or leave me, because marriage is a choice, not a trap.
This sounds like a very interesting game, and I look forward to playing it.
Honestly, my business partnership with Gabe has felt more like a trap over the years than my marriage ever has. Because it was like our finances, all of our money was together.
Right.
Like we could get divorced and I would still have my stuff.
Marriage is a choice, not a trap. Comedy partnerships, a trap.
A trap. Yeah. Well, now this is a trap that we have this podcast.
Right.
But luckily, we've made $0 off of it so far. So, okay. I decide that my next nonfiction book will be a rehashing of all my past relationships. In order to do this, I tell you that I will need to spend a full week in an isolated cabin with each of my exes who agreed to be a part of the project.
What?
This will take me away from you and our son for at least 6 weeks, and I won't be in contact during this time, so I can really pour myself into the process. There is only one bed in the cabin. Would you stay or leave?
I would be so confused. Why would you rent a cabin that only has one bed?
Just in the budget, the book budget.
Here's the thing about this. I really trust you.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see you hooking up with one of your exes.
Thank you.
I just don't. And so if it was really for the book and all your exes agreed,
Well, 6 of them.
6 of them, okay. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel super great about the whole thing, but I think I would stay. I think I would stay if I really saw that it had artistic merit. Like the writer in me, sort of appreciates and understands maybe what you're doing, but your husband in me is like, not only do I think she's not going to hook up with any of them, the fact that she's sharing a bed with someone who's not me does not sound like Allison. It's not
I'd hate
me
it.
or one of the dogs.
Yuck.
Even the fact that you'd be away from the dogs for a week.
I know. 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it would even last.
That's a really good thing. Is I probably come home 3 days later.
3 hours later. Also, a cabin in the woods. No, maybe if it was the Ritz-Carlton. Allison in the woods. No, I don't see that for a second.
All right, great. Well, I'll pitch it to my book agent. We have done it, folks. We've made it to the end of another wild roller coaster of an episode.
Yeah.
If you wanted to watch everything that went on, you can check it out at youtube.com/justbetweenus, which is my YouTube channel with Gabe, in case you found this podcast another way and have been wondering the whole time why it's called Just Between Us.
And if you want to read some amazing books written 100% by Allison and not by Gabe at all, why don't you check out, I think, Conversations About Modern Marriage or Save the Date.
Or Overthinking About You.
Or Overthinking About You.
Yeah.
But the other ones, Gabe had a hand in.
And if you want to read some incredible writing from John, you can go to wrongmanforthejob.substack.com. He has recently launched it, and it brought me to tears today, I'll be honest. And that was upsetting because I just got my lashes done.
Oh, thank you.
And if you want to submit your own marriage moment for us to share on the show, you can send an email to startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. That's startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com.
Please do not forget to rate this podcast. It really helps out. Or send it to a friend.
Yeah, rating is so important. If you're like, wow, they kind of ganged up on Allison there a bit, I feel bad for her. Just throw me a review. I'd love it. And as we say in our home, good night to me, the Alibaba.
Good night to you, the Alibaba.